Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. I figured today I would switch it up a little bit and do a bit of a helpful guide for all the life wizards out there or potential life wizards out there on how to get Rat Spin. Now if you don't know, Rat Spin is Life's 4-pip AoE. For a very long time in this game, Life did not have a 4-pip AoE spell. They were forced to use 7-pip. At one point they were given Leaf Storm on a Kookaburra pet, which, allowed them to have a 4-pip AoE, but Rat Spin is specifically their learned 4-pip AoE. It can be enchanted, obviously put in your deck, and it's really useful to have. So today I thought I would make a video on it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with whether it's worth it, this one's going to be really short. Obviously, yes, it is extremely worth it to try to get Rat Spin on Life. It makes Life's one major weakness, I feel like, which was the lack of 4-pip AoE, completely removed. You now have a 4-pip AoE, and it's actually one of the strongest in the game. It does more base damage than Meteor Strike, and you can actually upgrade it with Spellement Paths to get even further if you want to, but even just the base spell by itself is completely worth it to get. So let's get into actually how to get it. So there's two main ways for a life wizard to get Rat Spin. The first way is by farming a boss for spell elements, and the second is crafting it. Depending on which one you decide to go for, it takes a little bit different of a time, depending on your luck. The main differences that you need to know. First off, to get it the spell element way, it's going to require a lot of luck and a lot of skeleton keys. So you're probably going to need either someone with a lot of skeleton keys, or you're going to need to have a lot yourself. Whether they be wood, stone, or gold, all of them can be used and will definitely come in handy when farming at the Spellement Path. Or you can do it the crafting path, which takes a lot more farming in regards to potentially Lore Master or finding someone to trade Rat Spin TC with, and then obviously the reagents. The main difference is that the Spellement Path, there's no guarantee that you'll actually get it with a set amount of keys, whereas the actual crafting, it is much more, you're guaranteed to get it after a certain amount. Starting with the Spellement Path, you come right here to Savarstead Pass in Grizzleheim over here, and there is behind this waterfall a skeleton key boss with King Boar. There's three paths you can take. There is the wooden key, the stone key, and the gold key. The wooden key is really easy, not too many major cheats. In fact, I don't think there is any cheats, and as a max level, if you want to, or even just a high level 100, you can run in there and just 4-pip AoE, finish it first round. The drops are lower in a wooden key than a gold key. So as for the stone and gold keys, this cheat is a lot harder, so listen up if you want to do this. So for both the stone and gold key, they have the same cheat. The main difference is the health. There is King Boar and there is a minion. As for King Boar, you can't place any feints on him, so that is one cheat. And this is a big one, is that his minion will intercept 75% of all damage. Now that seems fine at first, you just kill the minion then kill him, but no, every single time you kill the minion before you kill King Boar, he will revive it. So what you need to do is you need to tank through that 75% and hit King Boar with all you can have. As I said, you can't use feint. What I'd recommend doing is an indemnity feint if you are on the gold key. If you don't have it on the stone key, or if for some reason you don't have it at that level, just blade and trap and then hit him with a single effect and try to kill him. Once you kill him, you can kill the side minion really easy. As for other cheats, you can't join the battle late, so try not to flee and come back. If you do, he will cast Medusa on you, which will stun you for 2 rounds. But that is really it for the cheats. I would definitely recommend farming gold if you can, maybe entering team up and farming gold if you can, because definitely there'll be people wanting to do the team up. Gold has a higher drop rate for the spell element, so you might want to do it. But if you just have a lot of wood keys lying around, go for the wood keys, just see it. He also, from here, drops the treasure cards, which can also be used to craft the spell. So if for some reason you don't get all the spell elements, you can, in fact, still craft it after farming him. But this is really it for the Spellement Path. This is all you need to know. The Spellement Path actually isn't too complicated. You just farm King Boar until you have enough spell elements. Again, it's only 35 to unlock the spell for the spell elements, so it's not too bad. You can get it this way if you want, and this is a decent way to get it. Now I'm going to go into the crafting path, what you do for the crafting, and the different reagents. All right, so if you don't know, for actually crafting the spell, you need to first buy the spell recipe. So what you need to do is you need to come here to Dundara with the Indigo Giant in this little section here. And if you haven't unlocked Avalon yet for some reason, you can actually still do this. What you need to do is have someone teleport you into this dungeon, and then you need to actually beat the Indigo Giant. So you need someone to help you in battle beat it, and Grady will still appear behind him over here. I don't know why it works like this. It's just that he doesn't show up until you beat this boss, and you can still beat it for some reason at even level 1, and Grady will still appear. So you come here. Another caveat, you need legendary crafting, which you need to get to Safaria for, which is a bit problematic. You do still need to wait to Safaria for this method. That is the major downside of it, but you can still get it. So you come here, you get to Ratspin, and then you buy the recipe. It's only 12,000, but you can see here a pretty solid card. It has different reagents. I'll go into how to get those reagents just about now, but you buy it. Boom, you have Ratspin. All right, so first step of getting Ratspin is actually the Ratspin treasure card. Now, this is going to be, without a doubt, the hardest of the sections of Ratspin to get. The problem is that you need these treasure cards, and they are dropped extremely infrequently from the lore master. So what I would recommend you do, and what I did when I was farming for the reagents, is either join Gamma's trading post and look for people selling Ratspin. Do be careful though, player trades can be a bit iffy, but you can trade empowers. They usually go for 80 to 100 empowers each. So you'll need about 1,000 empowers, which is a lot of gold to complete it that way, or farm for it, or you can potentially find someone to trade with and trade other craftable spell treasure cards. I know a lot of people like to trade, one for the other, like trade Hammer of Thor treasure cards for Ratspin treasure cards, whatever. You can definitely get up to 10 this method. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. And King Boar also drops the treasure cards, but these are really the only ways. Again, it's going to be difficult. It's going to take a lot of lore master runs, and I have no idea where I just went. It's very likely, honestly, that you might get Ratspin in the time it takes you to farm for the treasure cards. So it'll be rough, but you can get there. All right, next up is the Peridot and Black Coal. That one's really easy. You just come here to Elmer. Really, this is going to be cheap. You can see here, 200 Black Coal for 1,000, and then Peridot's probably going to be similar. Yeah, like 1,000. Really easy way. You can see, okay, well, I need to buy 7 more. Perfect. There you go. You can see I got those 2 reagents really easily. Next up is going to be hard reagents. These reagents are going to be difficult to farm for and get, so keep that in mind. This is a long process, but once you do it, it will be very rewarding to have Ratspin on a Life Wizard. So first off, and I shouldn't need to tell you this, but I'm going to anyway, please check the Bazaar. One of the reagents you need is nickel, and nickel is quite frequently in the Bazaar because it's not that valuable of a reagent, so see if you can find it there. Iron also tends to show up in the Bazaar. Get copper, get pyrite, get nickel if you can. All of these things will be incredibly useful for you when actually trying to get Ratspin. But really, it's the Bazaar. Reagents tend to be very infrequent nowadays, but hopefully it won't be too bad. All right, so while I'm walking to the next actual reagent that you can get, let me tell you a little bit about iron and nickel, because both reagents don't have a specific way to get them. I would say realistically the best way is the Bazaar, probably. That's how I did it. You just need to get lucky, just farm the Bazaar, get nickel, get that iron, and actually grind it up. But if you're looking for mob drops, they are dropped semi-frequently from Polaris, like base enemies in Polaris. So that is a way to do it, but that will be incredibly slow. Even on double reagents, that will be slow. And iron, you need 225 of it. There is a way to transmute it. It will be really hard. I'm going to show you that next, but I would recommend the Bazaar strongly for this. All right, so next up we have agave nectar, and this one is rough, but on double reagents, it isn't actually that bad. What you need to do is you need to come right here in Mangrove Marsh, and you can see here, this is the agave leave farm. What you do is you just change realms, realm hop back and forth to try to get the reagents. There will probably be people here farming for reagents, especially if it's double reagents. But you can see here, there tends to be 2 to 3 agave leaves per realm. Sometimes they spawn over here, but otherwise there's the black lotus that sometimes spawns here. A pretty useful reagent to grab as well if you find it. But you can see it will be a long process, but you can get the agave leaves, agave nectar that way. That's how I did it. It took a long time, but you can get it. All right, an important thing to know about agave nectar, and this will make it very much faster, is to come here to Popal White Paper in the Alto, go to his recipe shop and get Transmute Agave Nectar. You can see you can get 15 agave leaves for 1 agave nectar, so that means you won't spend hours just wasting away trying to get the agave nectar from Azteca. You can actually still get agave leaves, and also Alto does tend to frequently have agave leaves around this first area. You can see there's some there. If you want to get agave leaves here, you can also do that, but I would strongly recommend Mangrove Marsh over this. The only way I would say go here is if a lot of people are farming in Mangrove Marsh and you can't find any reagents. All right, next thing, and this is also very helpful for getting iron and nickel, is to come here to Torald Wayfinder and go to his recipes. You can see here he has Transmute Nickel, which is 10 copper, 1 opal. Copper can be a bit hard to get, but you can see there's also a Transmute Copper here, which is iron. I wouldn't recommend using your iron to get copper. I would definitely recommend just getting the nickel in the BAZAAR if you can. And then you have Transmute Iron here, which is pyrite and opal. Finally, you can get Transmute Pyrite. This is going to be long if you try to do it through transmuting, but you can at least bolster your reserves of iron. So you can see here, right now, I could make about 8 pyrite, which is not enough to even craft 1 single iron. So what you would need for this, if I do like some quick math, you would need like 2,000 pyrite plus to actually get the iron. So I would not recommend this way, but if you can use it a little bit to bolster your reserves, you know, just actually get a little bit more iron to push you over the edge to be on the BAZAAR, this is the way to do it. All right, next up is Frost Flowers, and Frost Flowers luckily are quite easy to get, and you only need 25 of them. Honestly, I would recommend just coming here to Hrundel Fjord and looking around. There's also some useful reagents like scrap iron lying around, so can be incredibly useful. Just keep circling Hrundel Fjord, changing realms. Frost flowers do spawn quite frequently here. It's like decently frequently, to the point where you'll definitely get it. There's only 25, so keep that in mind. You should also be able to get some in the BAZAAR. Really not too hard. This is probably the easiest step of the recipe, to be completely honest. You can also transmute frost flowers from stone block and mistwood. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend this way, but you can see it would only take 250 mistwood, 250 stone block to do that. I would heavily recommend actually just going around Hrundel Fjord and getting them over this, but you can if you want to. The final reagent, and the reagent that a lot of people are probably going to find the most difficult if you haven't played this game for a long time, is going to be amber. Obviously, I have a ton of amber across all my wizards. Like, I probably have 100 on each account, which is enough to craft quite a few spells, but if you're early game, you're not going to have a lot. Amber is created a few ways. The first way, and this one is probably going to be the easiest for like PvPers, is you can buy it for arena tickets in the arena. It is something like 2,500, so it is a bit rough, but you can get 25 that way if you want. Now, for anyone who hates PvP, don't worry, there are plenty of ways to get it non-PvP wise. First off, there is getting King Parsleys, and then getting them from King Parsleys and Ultra King Parsleys. Ultra King Parsleys are much better. You get those from farming the Rattlebones Exalted Duels and Crocopatra Exalted Duels, so you can do that. But King Parsleys will also drop stuff like Amber Dust and Merle's Whiskers, which can be used to actually transmute it along with Gold Pearls. You get that recipe from Celestia. I'm not going to show you, but there is literally just a recipe vendor back left of Celestia Base Camp. Really easy to find. You'll find it. And that gives the recipe to actually do the Amber. But if you want to know the fastest way and the best way, is probably to come here to Tartarus and farm Cronus. If you don't know, Cronus is a secret boss here. He has something like 20,000 health, but he is pretty easy, especially if you're running it with a team of people who are doing it specifically for Cronus. But you can even really duo it if you want to. It's not too hard to duo. You just come here and go left immediately up here through here. Really easy way to get Amber. It will take a few battles, but if you have double reagents, it can be pretty useful in regards to getting Amber. You can also get Blades of Felled Titan, which are really good for level 90 to level 100 characters. A quick thing I'd like to mention, some people like to say that Gladiator D. Macaris and or the Sand Squid drop it more frequently. From my findings, the Sand Squid doesn't actually drop it that much more frequently. It's like If it's more frequently, it's barely more frequently, and the Sand Squid is a much harder boss. Gladiator Democaris is probably the hardest out of the 3 bosses. This is definitely the easiest boss, and it's the one I would recommend farming for Amber since he drops it semi-frequently. This is probably going to be the best way to get Amber, and the way I imagine most people will do it. But once you got all of those reagents, now that we've wrapped this up, you can actually craft Rat Spin. I know that this was a long, arduous process, but congratulations, you actually did it. Hopefully you found this part helpful. Now we're winding down, we're getting into the end of the video. I'm going to tell you the hidden third and final way to get Rat Spin, and it is a unholy, frankly disgusting way to do it, and that is by buying packs. I don't recommend any of you do this. If you want to get it in the best way, farm it or actually craft it. That's how I have done it. But you can get Grizzleheim lore packs and actually get Rat Spin in that way, and that's probably going to be the way that most people would actually upgrade it, because realistically, farming that many spell elements to upgrade it is going to be hard, but you can get it this way. Again, this is the unholy, disgusting way to do it, but it is a way to get Rat Spin. So with that out of the way, that is the video. That is how you get Rat Spin. Hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments if I somehow missed anything. I will pin your comment, or I will make a comment with anything I missed, but I think I did a pretty good job of covering just about every way to get every reagent, and also the ways to craft it, the ways to farm it. Let me know. But that is it for today. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, hit the sub button, go support me financially on Patreon, and join my Discord server. Really fun things you can do. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Adios.